Hello everyone, Reginald Scott here, and today we actually have a viewer request from somebody who asked me, how do you clean Litespeed bikes, or to give my recommendations. Now, in my job here, in my little workshop, this is where all the magic happens, we actually sell Litespeed bikes, titanium frames, so we do a lot of cleaning on them, and this is what I personally have found works best for me and my customers when they come to clean their bikes, or when I clean the bikes for them. So, thanks for the question, and I hope this answers it comprehensively. So basically, wash your Litespeed like you would do any other normal bike. You can use bike cleaners, you can use soap, you can use dish soap if you want to. Any kind of general soap that you can buy in any store is not going to harm the material of this bike. Titanium is very resistant to chemicals. It's very resilient, it doesn't damage easily. So, and it also doesn't rust or corrode like aluminium or steel does, and it doesn't age like carbon fiber. So again, you can use pretty much any kind of soap you want to it. Just wash the bike as usual. Spray it with water first to take as much grit off the frame and off the other parts of the bike as you can. Get it all nicely soaked up. Degrease the chain, obviously use a nice degreaser on the chain to get the chain nice and clean. And as I say, just wash it normally. After the wash, when you come to dry the frame down, I just use an old rag to dry the frame after I finish washing the bike. That's when two things you can do that are a bit unique to Litespeed bikes can happen. So the first thing is, I'm just going to wipe this frame off a little bit, take some of the sand and the grit off this top tube here. Now, I'm not worried about scratching the frame with the sand or the grit because we're about to polish the frame, and that will take any scratches out of it. So there's a couple of places on this bike that I've noticed that have got scratches. Down here, where the bottle cage has been missed a few times, or something has been banging up against the frame here. We've got like a small little polished area it's not the same as the rest of the frame. And then up here, there's a series of very small scratches that you can just see here in the frame. So we're going to get rid of these. Now, the first thing we need to get is this stuff. So at home, when you do the washing up, you probably use something that looks like this, but it's green, and it's basically a scouring pad. It's a fiber pad, and these things, the green ones, are quite coarse, so they have very, very coarse fibers on them that really scratch. It's why you shouldn't really use them on your Teflon pans, because you'll actually take the surface off your cooking pans. These ones, the red ones, or the dark maroon ones like this, these are called fine. So this is a fine fiber pad. You can buy these lots of different places, hardware stores or even online, but that's what you need. You need the fine ones. And then you cut it into strips like this. This is a strip, and this will last me absolutely ages, this strip. You can polish with this for a really long time. Basically, use it like a strop, put it over the frame where you've got your scratch marks. I'll try and move my titanium watch out the way, otherwise I'll probably end up scratching the frame with that. And you just do it like this, up and down, all the way along the frame, and it really doesn't take long. You can get pretty big scratches out of the frame, or even small dings or small chips from falling that some of my customers have had when they've fallen off their bikes, or had a little accident, had a little crash. And it's amazing, after a little bit of polishing, it really starts to take those scratches out of the frame. So don't worry about overdoing it with this, because you're not damaging the bike in any way. There we go. And then you just have to adapt the technique depending on where you are on the frame. So down here I can do pretty much the same thing. I'm just trying to avoid going over the decals. So you want to avoid the decals because this will actually take the decals off the frame. Now, some people like to remove the decals of their frames and just leave the frames bare, which you can do. How long this one's going to take me. But basically all I'm doing is polishing the frame, or the surface of the frame. I mean, technically speaking, titanium does have a layer of corrosion on the surface, and that layer of corrosion actually protects the frame from the elements. So by doing this, I'm actually taking that slight layer of corrosion off the bike. But like I say, if you continue to polish with this, as you can see, that mark is disappearing now. And the same for the one on the top as well. That one, those ones are disappearing as well, so you can't see them anymore. I say try and avoid the decals if you can, unless you want to remove the decals. This stuff will remove the decals from the frame. If you want new decals, you just can buy them online, get them ordered. Litespeed sell them, or your local Litespeed dealer can sell them to you as well, and we can also fit them to your bike if you need it. But like I say, some people just like to leave the frames plain. And then the second thing you're going to need to finish the polishing process is this stuff. This is a huge secret. You've probably never heard of this before. I'm only joking. It's WD-40. Everybody's heard of this. It's super useful for all sorts of jobs around the house and your car. I actually used this to fix my back door the other day on my car because it was sticking. And you just get some WD-40 and kitchen paper. Some people call this, what do they call this? Towel? Hand towel? Kitchen towel? Something like that. Paper towel. But yeah, just like your standard kitchen paper, get a little spray of WD-40 on it, pad the paper together to spread the WD-40 around. Now, why am I using WD-40? WD-40 was invented by the US military for cleaning ballistic missiles. That's a true story. That's actually what WD-40 was invented for. And ballistic missiles are made out of aluminium, scandium, titanium. They're made out of the same kind of materials as these bike frames. Okay, these contain aluminium, vanadium, and titanium. So WD-40 was actually made to clean these kind of metals, amalgams of aluminium. So you just start wiping with the WD-40 on the kitchen paper. Once you've given the frame a nice polish, you can even do this after you've washed the bike if you don't have any frame scratches. It just makes the bike look really nice and shiny. Just keep rubbing it into the surface. You go all over the bike. I'm not going to go all over the bike now because, as I say, the bike needs washing as well. And as you can see, that makes it lovely and shiny. And then you can finish it off with a drier piece of paper. So you just take the oils of the WD-40 off after you've got it nice and greasy. You want to dry it so then the dirt doesn't stick to the frame, and then the frame shines really nicely. And you can see here on this piece of paper, that's all the oxidization that's been removed from the frame from the scouring process when we polished it with that little scouring pad. Like I say, if you use the green, you will change the surface of the bike. It's a little bit too harsh. Or if you wanted to, you could use a polishing pad and some metal polish and actually make the bike shine like a mirror, if that's what you wanted to do. But the reason why we use this brush finish is because it's nice and easy to maintain. It's really easy to do, and it doesn't show up dirt and scratches as much as, say, a mirror polished frame would do. So there you go, brush finish is quite easy to care for, and that's basically it. Dead simple. Give it a bit of a polish with some red scouring pad and then WD-40 on a piece of kitchen paper, and you'll have a lovely shiny bike, and makes it look like factory new, because that's basically all they do in the factory. Thanks for watching. If you've got any other questions about Litespeed bikes or about cycling in general, I enjoy making these videos when I've got the time, and I'd be happy to answer those questions. Oh, one more piece of advice: when you're washing your bike, always wash your Litespeed bike in this upright position. Never flip the bike over onto its saddle and its handlebars and wash it upside down. I had a customer who did that. all the water and the degreaser travelled up the tubes, went into the headset and rusted his headset bearings because it removed all the grease from the headset bearings. So always wash the bike in this position. There's actually a small hole underneath the bottom bracket, so if any water gets inside the bike, it runs down to that small hole and goes straight out the bottom of the bike. So it's just designed to drain itself effectively. Some brands of bikes out there, they will actually fill up with water in the BB, but this one won't. So there you go, that's how you clean your Litespeed bike. Thanks. Hello folks, sorry about that, my video got cut off. I ran out of space on my memory on my phone, but just wanted to say thanks for watching. I hope that was useful for you, and as always, stay safe when cycling. See you guys later.